So I have bought this electric scooter. Is it good? Yes. But is it perfect? By all means, no. There are 7 essential things to look into when buying your electric scooter, which I wish I knew before I bought this one. Stay tuned, we'll get into it in a moment. What's going on, riders? MJ here. Another beautiful weekend, and this time we are talking about 7 essential things to look into when choosing your first electric scooter. Or your next one. Budget and purpose, obviously. Power, range, weight, tires and suspension, brakes, and then some other nice to have things. And I have learned this lesson the hard way with my electric scooter, as I have discovered 7 essential things to look into when making your purchase. Number 1. Budget and purpose. If you're gonna be using it simply for commuting, you don't really need to spend your money on all that power. What you're looking for is maximum range. On the other hand, if adrenaline and fast riding is your thing, you should be looking into something that has double motor and at least 2000 watts of power. But you will be paying more versus those guys who just seek long range. But if this is your first scooter, you don't really know what you need here, do you? You may think you do, but you don't. In this case, I would recommend going for Xiaomi, Ninebot or some similar entry-level model, which is also on a cheaper side. It will cost you like 500 euros. It's not heavy, it weighs like 15 kilos, it has okay range and usually fits well into your trunk. After riding it for a season, you will have a better understanding if you need something different, something better, if you need it at all, and which attributes are the most important for your riding style. At the same time, you will develop your riding skills and will be ready for faster and more powerful model. And you wouldn't be spending a fortune on an expensive model and then suddenly realizing you needed something different. Thing number 2. Range. Electric scooter range varies from 20 to 100 plus kilometers. All scooters have the range indicated by their manufacturer, but in most cases you will never reach that. Unless you're driving slowly, you weigh like 60 kilos, you have perfectly smooth surface to ride on, and the wind is not blowing, or it's blowing to your back. Be aware that if you are showing no mercy to your accelerator, you will be able to squeeze out like 60 or 70% of your total indicated range. So if you're thinking, okay, I'll have to drive like 25 kilometers, so 30 kilometers range will be enough, right? No. You will be able to extract like 20 kilometers instead of 30, especially if you're pushing your accelerator hard. If you're looking for a scooter for commuting, like going to your work and back, and you'll be driving like 15 kilometers, so don't waste your money on 80 kilometers range scooter. The more, the better, right? But have in mind that your budget will also go up in line with your range. So if this is your first scooter, I would recommend getting at least 40 kilometers range. Thing number 3. Power. If you are just starting, I wouldn't recommend exceeding 1000 watts. You need to develop your riding skills first and build your experience and confidence. You wouldn't want to go flying 50 or 60 kph with little or none experience. Also in the beginning you would probably be doing basic riding mistakes. And you need to get rid of those first. I have made a short video covering that. Check it out if you didn't see it. It may save you from a nasty crash one day. Or even maybe save your life. Who knows? No need to thank me. Since we are talking about power, so we must mention motors at some point, right? So scooters basically have single motor or dual motor. Motor power varies from 250 watts all the way to 5 or 6,000 watts, or maybe even more these days. For more casual riding, even a 500 watt scooter will be okay, but it will face some issues climbing uphill. The speed will drop, maybe even drastically, and for steeper inclines, your scooter may even stop, especially if your weight is on a heavier side. Thing number 4. Scooter weight. Basically, the bigger the battery, the heavier your scooter will be. You want that extra range and extra power? Then also be ready for extra scooter weight, which is not nice if you have to carry your scooter upstairs, like I do. In that case, you probably wouldn't want to go over 30 kilograms with your scooter weight. Otherwise, you will have to ask your friends or your neighbors for some help every time you want to take your beast for a ride. Also, putting your heavy scooter into trunk is not easy. You will not be able to do this on your own. Some scooters have a removable battery, which is a nice option that saves you from carrying your scooter upstairs every time. So if this is an issue for you, you may want to look into this option. Thing number 5: tires and suspension. Cheaper scooters usually don't have any suspension, and there are solid tires on them. That means there is no air in them. If you decide to go for such an option, you're in for a bumpy ride, my friend. So if there is no suspension in your selected model, make sure at least tires have air in them. For the tires and wheels in general, you need to know if you're going to drive off-road or mainly driving on tarmac. Off-road tires have much bigger tread and gives you extra grip on rough surfaces, while tarmac tires, or slick tires if you will, are smooth and provide good traction on tarmac. Cheaper scooters usually have smaller wheel size, and this is a bad thing if you plan riding in higher speeds. Not only it is less stable, but also more sensitive to all the bumps on the road. And bigger bumps can even make you lose your balance and fall from your scooter, while bigger wheels tend to cope with all that much better. If faster riding is your thing, I would recommend going for at least 10-inch wheels, which will provide your riding more comfort as well. Another moment here: self-sealing tubeless tires. Nothing spoils your riding mood more than a bad surprise: a flat tire. More expensive scooter models usually have self-sealing tires. There is a thick layer of very sticky gunk on the inside of a tire. If you have something stuck in it, just pull it out and it self-seals. It is a really useful feature and really clever. Someone please give a medal to self-sealing tire inventor. Now, quickly about suspension. There are a few things to consider here. First of all, no suspension at all. If you're gonna be riding only on tarmac and your scooter has at least 10-inch wheels, you may be even fine with this option. Spring suspension. It's used in most scooters. That's a lot better than no suspension at all, and it will give you so much more comfort when riding, especially when you're going over some bumps or off-road. More expensive scooters have adjustable suspension, where you can crank your suspension to harder or softer side, depending on your riding style. Thing number 6: brakes. There are few most common types of brakes. Mechanical, disc brakes. These are really good, but sometimes you have to tighten them up, because over time they become loose. These brakes are usually used on slower and medium tier scooters. You will probably not find these brakes on the fastest models, as they need more stopping power, which takes us to the next brake type: hydraulic brake. This time you're not using a cable, you're using hydraulic fluid. This gives a lot more braking power versus cable brakes. Additionally, a lot of scooters have regenerative brakes. When you use them, you recharge a small bit of your battery. It's a good safety feature, as it shuts down your motor as soon as you start to brake, and it is often combined with regular brakes, mechanical or hydraulic. Thing number 7, or things number 7: display, lights, and then some nice-to-have things. Cheaper scooters usually have very small displays, sometimes no display at all. Displays usually show your speed. It may also show your total and remaining range, and you can adjust various settings there. So if you're into tech, you may want to go for an option with bigger display, some of which also have an option: charge your phone. Headlights. Scooters usually have weak lighting, especially cheaper ones. If you plan riding in the dark, I would recommend getting an additional LED light with at least 1000 lumens. You can easily mount it on your steering in most cases. Side lights. Not only that it looks cool, it also increases your visibility, especially when it's dark outside and you are hitting the streets. Some models, like Dualtron, in my opinion, have already too much of that. They look like Christmas trees. But if this is your thing, by all means, go for it. Merry Christmas. Chargers. Inevitable part of riding is charging your battery. For more powerful scooters, this process may take multiple hours, sometimes even up to 25. So more and more scooters now have double charging port, which means you can charge your battery almost twice as fast. This may not be so important if you are charging it overnight, you are not in a hurry. But if you are stopping for some nice snack and drink, which is usually the case with electric scooter, at least for me, and these guys let you charge your scooter, so double charger would do a much better job during that short period of time while you enjoy your meal. Folding mechanisms. The idea is you fold them and you lift your scooter up. But some models don't have fixation when folded, so basically you will not be able to carry it at all. So have that in mind if there are any stairs on your daily road. Now let's briefly talk about decks.
Did you just say decks?
No, I said decks. Decks. Anyway, as you know, decks vary in size. There are very small decks, and sometimes the decks are very huge. The bigger the deck, the more comfortable your ride will be. Have that in mind if you plan riding for multiple hours on big deck or small. What else do you think is important that wasn't mentioned in this video? Let me know below in the comments. By the way, you're still riding your powerful scooter and wearing no gear? You know what I'm gonna say. Dude, what the hell? Also, let me know what is the most important thing in electric scooters for you. Range, power, style? If you see me riding somewhere, come say hi. I have to wrap up here and take my beast for a ride. So have a good one. Pizzas on me.